So I met with David in 2007 to discuss doing a hybrid nonfiction film together. And at the time, he was in sort of semi-retirement, and the project would have involved him shooting for about 60 days. And so it was sort of put on the back burner. And in 2016, a few months after he passed, I reached out to his manager, executor, Bill Zisplat, who had been in the meeting with me, and presented him with an idea to do a kind of immersive, experiential, non-biographical film. And Bill said, we David had been saving and sort of working on his archives for the past 20 or 30 years. He collected everything, but he never wanted to make a sort of traditional documentary, and sort of wondered what are we going to do with all this stuff. And then here I came with this proposal to do a film that was really just based upon the archives, and so they granted me full access and permission to do really whatever I wanted to do. In fact, the only instruction I had was make it yours. That David's not here to sort of see the finished work of whatever it is you're going to do. So it's not David Bowie on David Bowie. It will be Brett Morgan on David Bowie. And just embrace that. And that's what we did. David is so inspiring that 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 was the beginning and the end of every day. It was just completely from the time I started the project to this morning. I mean, to right now, just so inspired by him. The You can't get overwhelmed by the weight of the task. You can only do your best. Put every and so it was not easy though. I was my own editor on this film. I was my own producer on this film, so I felt very alone and responsible. And during the course of making the film, I had a heart attack and flatlined for a couple minutes. Was in a coma for a week, and came out of that and was. I had this monumental task to kind of mount, and so it was a yeah. There was a lot of it was challenging physically to sort of pull it all off, but David's so inspiring, So it yeah. It's really you can't get burdened by the weight of these. It's too overwhelming to really process. I just hope I didn't disappoint. Obviously, you can't satisfy everyone, but I know how much David means to so many people, including myself. So yes, you want to make sure that but you do your best. I woke up this morning feeling I, I definitely had enough time, left no stone unturned. I have a couple shots left to color correct when I get back, but that's the nature of it. Yeah. Most people don't have heart attacks at 47 years old. My heart attack happened because my life was out of control, and there was no balance to it, and there was no discipline. And I have 3 children, and when I sort of came out of that experience, I thought, what's been the message of my life? And work really hard. That's kind of it. That's the message I had left behind for my children. And where does that get you? To get you to be patient zero at Cedar Sinai at 47 years old. And then there was David, and through David, he kind of provided me with a guide for how to kind of survive, how to live the most fulfilling life I could possibly live. And I realized that the film would be an opportunity to pass that message down to my children and to the rest of the world. And it's a really life-affirming message. David, I couldn't have made this film, I don't think, without the experience I had. Because uh, yeah, when you see the film, it's very much about learning to appreciate every day and every moment. And there's a line in the film where David says, and it's from River Kwai, I think, but the moment you realize that you've lived more days than you have in front of you is the moment that you can really begin to live your life. And then an acceptance sits in. And David had such equilibrium and balance in his. I didn't know him personally, but from my experience from going through all the media, that it was. I felt he was guiding me through my recovery, and in turn, I was able to sort of infuse that into the film, and so it became about something much different. It became about life and a celebration of each moment. Yeah.